Hello and welcome back. Now we're gonna continue with our classes travel lab, which is right here. Okay, so we have classes travel lab, and we're gonna start working on the route class. Okay, so we're gonna go through these instructions. If you hear Sonic in the background, that's my kid. Okay, so we have route. A route is initialized with two arguments: a beginning location and an ending location. Both these arguments are JavaScript objects with the attributes of horizontal and vertical. Okay, that may sound confusing, but hopefully by the end of this video, this one will make sense to you. Okay, so what we're going to cover in this video is setting the route class and setting the blocks traveled function. So we're going to go ahead and start on these things right now. Okay, so let's go and start this. Just move this over here so I could keep on reading it. All right. So that class is driver, so that ends that class. All right. And do this. Now we're gonna go ahead and start our new class of route. Remember, these got to be capital. Okay. Class starting the course constructor. And they want these to have two arguments: a beginning location and an ending location. Beginning location, ending location. Okay, and it does say both of these arguments are JavaScript objects with attributes of horizontal and vertical. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put this as a right here. Well, these are arguments JavaScript. I'm going to leave that there, so we know what that's doing. Okay, attributes of horizontal and vertical. All right, so we have that there. Now, of course, we got to put in our regular information, which is this dot beginning location equals beginning location, and this dot ending location is going to be ending location. Okay, so that's the first part of our constructor. So we're going to go ahead, and here comes the next part. Okay, this next part was kind of tricky to figure out, but I got it. So we have the blocks traveled coming in. Okay, and I'm going to put the information right here so that we can see exactly what we have to look at here. So it says blocks traveled returns an integer with the number of blocks traveled. In New York City, to travel east and west, you cross avenues, and to travel north and south, you cross streets. To calculate the distance on streets, you can use subtraction. Example, 13 streets to 10 street is 3 blocks. So 13 minus 3, or 13 minus 10 is 3. To calculate the distance of avenues traveled, you would need the names and order of avenues in New York City, and to use the following array to help with the calculation. So it says let east-west. Now, I don't live in New York, okay? I'm a Chicagoan myself. So what I did, just to double check, was I pulled up Google Maps. And I wanted to see how this was. So they start at 1st, 2nd, 3rd, Lexington, Park, Madison, and 5th. And those are all the streets that they have in the order. So that was correct there. Okay, right there. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, Lexington, Park, Madison, 5th Avenue. I'm not a fan that this does not have an avenue at the end of it. That kind of bothers me, kind of nitpicky about things like that. But it says we're going to use this. So we're going to copy this array. We're going to copy this array and put the array at the top of the file. Okay, so we see all that. I'll just leave it as, I'm going to leave it as park because of how it's in the test. Okay, because I'm going to grab information from the test, so I'm going to type it out, and we're going to invoke the methods from invoke creating the new driver from the test. Okay, so we have all that information there, and we took the information from the arrays. Okay, so we have the information up there now, and we're going to move on. So go back here. So to travel from 15th Street and 1st Avenue to 20th Street and Lexington Avenue, travel 8 blocks, 5 blocks north and 3 blocks west. So we have to find out, how do we get from one to the other? Okay, so how far is it from one place to the other? And that's what we're going to find out here. So to do this, we have to first find out how many blocks is it east to west. Okay, and to do that, we have to make these into integers, because these are already in the order that they are, as we saw on the map. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is east to west blocks, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we're going to make a function called avenue to integer. We're going to pass in avenue. And we're going to have it return east, west, which is the name of the variable up here, which is the name of the array that we have. Return east, west, dot index of avenue. Okay, this is going to make sense when I start to pull everything in. That's the part that where it's going to get like, oh, what am I going to pull back? What am I going to pull back? Because right now I'm going to do this, right? So we have this. Now I'm going to console.log this, so we can see exactly what I'm talking about. Right now it's set to undefined, so it's not going to run anything yet because nothing is getting pulled in yet. Okay, but we have to make this one there in order for the next part to work. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to put in the blocks traveled as they want us to. So I'm going to go ahead. Where did I put it at? Here we go. Oh, right there. Blocks traveled. Just in case we want to do this. All right. Blocks traveled. All right. Now, remember, this said going east and west. Okay, that's horizontal. Okay, east and west is horizontal. So what we're going to do is that we're going to pull the information over. Okay, and we're going to pull it from this information from the test. Let me bring it up, and I'm going to run it. I'm going to put this on there. What happened? I was recording. What happened?
I need you to go with me to go to Costco.
Can you wait while I'm done? Till I'm finished, please?
Yeah, how long?
20 minutes?
Okay, I'll go get you.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. So this is what our new route is going to do. When they say look at test, look at the test to see exactly what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Okay? So our new route is going to bring in the 2 arguments. Okay? I'm going to put this, I'm going to copy that, I'm going to put this over here. Okay? So the first one right here is that what they didn't say basically inside of the description is that when it's passing these right here, objects with and attributes, they should just say objects with attributes of horizontal and vertical. Okay, so what we're doing is we're passing in two separate objects. Okay, so each one is a separate object here. So beginning location is this object, which is horizontal park vertical 34. So this is what this is the beginning location, Park and 34th. Okay, so Park Avenue and 34th Street. That's the beginning location. Then the ending location is Park and 45th. So basically, just go and wrap the block. Okay, so that's the first test that's gonna run, but that's gonna make us know that if we do everything correctly, everything should come back okay. All right. So let's go ahead and run this real quick. I'm gonna run something. I want to see something. Okay. So we still have that as undefined. We have no avenues yet. Okay. So let's do this. We got blocks traveled. So we got to get the horizontal distance. And it says to calculate the distance of avenues traveled, we need the names. Oh, here we go. To calculate the distance of streets, you can subtract right there. So we're going to subtract this information here. All right. So I'm going to say let horizontal distance equal this dot avenue to integer this dot ending location dot horizontal. Okay, so what it's doing, it's grabbing the value of the horizontal inside the object of beginning location. Sorry, of ending location. Okay, so it's saying this ending location horizontal. So right now, it's grabbing Park with that information. Okay, so what I want to do now is subtract it. I want to subtract it by this avenue to integer, this dot beginning location dot horizontal. Okay. So now just to see everything that's coming through there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to console.log all of them. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Horizontal part, vertical. Still coming up as undefined. Oh, let me get rid of this right here. Why is this circumference undefined? Everything's there correctly. I don't have any errors. Oh, my fault. I'm not doing anything. This is undefined. I haven't done anything yet. I didn't create the new route. This has to be. It's my fault. I thought I put that in there. Okay, there we go. New route. Now what I'm going to do is call it. Now I'm going to invoke the function here. New route dot blocks traveled. There we go. That's what's undefined. That was my fault. All right. So right here we go. So right now we're returning east-west index of avenue. Okay. So remember, east-west are these numbers up here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at right here. Park. Park should be number 4 in the array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is correct. Okay. Now we're pulling that in, and we're putting the index of because these are the numbers that have to be subtracted by. Because we know that, hey, 1 minus or 0 minus 4 is going to be 4, stuff like that. So that's 4 blocks. If we had 2nd Avenue and Park, it'll be 1 and 4, 3, things like that. Okay, because we're going to subtract the two from each other. So that's why we're using index of. Index of, I want to bring back something that, an easier one to read. Okay, here we go. Index, JavaScript array index of method returns the first index at which a given element can be found in the array. So it finds the element and it returns the index number where it's found at, and that's exactly what we wanted to do. Because these blocks are already, these horizontal blocks are already in the order they need to be in. So we don't have to worry about that part. All we need is the number, which we have 4. So that's why we use index of for avenue. Okay? All right. So let's go on. And here's our logs. Okay? So we got console.log, avenue to integer, ending location horizontal. That is 4. Okay? Then minus this being location horizontal, which is also 4, which means 0, which means we are going 0 blocks horizontal, which is true because we're going from Park Avenue to Park Avenue. So horizontal, we're not moving horizontal anyway. We're staying right there. Okay? Now, we gotta calculate the vertical distance, north and south. Okay? Now, these are a bit easier because they're just numbers, and those numbers are already in order themselves. So, what we're gonna say is, let's spelling vertical wrong. Oh. Let vertical distance, this is going to equal this dot avenue to integer. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong place. This dot ending location dot vertical minus this dot course, beginning location dot vertical. Okay, so what it's doing, it's taking this dot ending location dot vertical, which is here. It's taking the 45 and minusing it from the vertical of the beginning location, which is here, 34. Okay. So let's console.log those and make sure that those are correct. Now all I want to do is return horizontal distance plus the vertical distance. See what happens. Okay. So we come up with, that is 11 blocks. Okay. So let's check our test. And the first one is expected to equal 11. Perfect. So now we know this does work. It equals 11 because we got the 4 minus the 4, which equals 0 horizontal. And then we got 45 and 34, so it's equal to 11. Awesome. So now we know everything works the way it should be, and it's logging out right here. Now you might be thinking, oh, you might be thinking, why is it 11? Okay, I'm going to do this just in case people got a little like confused there. I'm going to do this. Okay. Kind of confusing because I didn't do this. Okay, let's see. Okay, all right. Let's run this again. Oh, sorry. Not horizontal, vertical distance. All right, there we go. Okay. So we have the 4 minus the 4. Okay, which is this ending location horizontal minus this beginning location horizontal. They're both 4, so 4 minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so we start off at 0, which is the horizontal distance. Now we got to get the vertical distance. The vertical distance is this ending location vertical, which is 45, which is right here, minus this beginning location vertical, which is here, 34. So that's 45 minus 34 equals 11. Then we add the two together to get the final number. So we add 0, which is the horizontal distance, plus 11 is going to equal 11 total blocks. And it's that way because we begin on Park Avenue and we arrive on Park Avenue. Okay? So let's try something different. Let's try a different one. Let's start with something that has 2 different points. No, that's 2 same vertical points. I want something different. There we go, right here. All right, this one will do. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So we got this ending location horizontal starts at 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this ending location. No, hold on. Oh yeah, sorry. Ending location. Horizontal is at Park, which starts at 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's correct. Okay. Then we have minus this beginning horizontal, which is First Avenue, which is the first one, that's 0. So that's 4 minus 0 equals 4. Okay? So our horizontal distance right now is going to be 4. Then we have this to any location vertical, 45, minus this beginning location vertical, 34. So this ending location vertical minus this beginning location vertical equals the vertical distance, which is 11. Now we're going to add the horizontal distance, which was 4, plus the vertical distance, which was 11, and come out to 15 total blocks. And that's how we get the blocks traveled. I'm going to take this information and I'm going to add it into my actual file to run the test on. Okay, and I'm going to take out the logs. I don't need the logs anymore. That was long. And this one. There we go. I'm going to save that, and now I have to run it. I haven't ran it yet. Let's see. It says I'm wrong. East-west is not defined. Oh, yeah. That will cause a problem. I didn't put the array in there. Without that array, nothing's going to work. And there you have it. Blocks traveled is now passing all of its tests. It calculates the number of blocks traveled, it calculates the number of horizontal blocks traveled, and it combines horizontal and vertical blocks. Okay? So I hope that walkthrough helped you understand how I put this together. It is pretty complicated to understand, but if you go through it and you're actually, using your JavaScript console, whether it's in inside of Chrome or something like like I use REPL, which is what I used to do all my stuff in. It's really, really helpful, so that way you could understand what every single part is doing and what it's coming up with and how it's coming up with it. Okay, and it's always good to use the test and get the information from the test, so that way you can say, hey, okay, it's matching that test, so it must be working. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And until the next one, we're gonna go with and do the next one a little bit later, and that's going to be estimated time. So hope you join me for that as well. And thank you very much, and have a great day.